Now, I know I didn't get to do a book review last weekend. I was actually out of town on a trip through Georgia and Tennessee, but I did get to spend a day on the water with Jim Holland. We met up at Amicalola Falls State Park in North Georgia. Didn't get into a whole lot of fish, but we had a great time on the water. And I did get to stop in the Smoky Mountains on the way back. So picked up this nifty little sticker right here, fishing the Little River in Elkmont, just outside of Gatlinburg. But enough of that. Let's get into today's book review. It's Peter Gathercole's Fly Tying Bible. Hello everybody, welcome to Savage Flies. I'm Matt, thanks for stopping by. So the book I'm doing a review on today was written by Peter Gathercole. It's his Fly Tying Bible. Now it's got 100 patterns in here. In fact, the subtitle is called 100 Deadly Trout and Salmon Flies in Step-by-Step Photographs. Now it was published in 2003. The cover price on it is about $25, but you can usually find it for around $20. I think that's the price on Amazon today. So let's talk about the book. After a couple of pages of an introduction and then how to use the book, he's got about 25 pages with some basic fly tying techniques, starting with, how to attach your thread, then how to dub a body, wrapping a collar hackle, doing some feather wings, and then how to do a head and whip finish, that kind of stuff. He's got a couple of pages on the various tools and a few pages on materials, but it's a pretty basic primer for those first 25 or 30 pages. And then the next 5 chapters, that's when he starts getting into the flies. He's got 30 dry flies, 27 what he calls nymphs and bugs, 13 wet flies, and then 15 streamers and 15 hairwings. And the layout of the book is he's pretty much got 2 pages per fly. So let me show you a couple of examples here. So here's one. Let's look at the bivisible. You've got a picture of the fly and then the components labeled, a little bit about it and the history, and then 6 pictures of steps. And that's all every fly has, is just 6 pictures of steps. So they're not terribly detailed. And a brand new tire might need a few more steps than what you have in here. But if you've been tying for any amount of time, it's probably detailed enough for you. Oh, and I didn't mention it's spiral bound, so it will lay flat on your bench. That's always a nice touch. A couple of other dry flies. He's got a royal wolf here. You've got the humpy, a CDC dun, and then Dave's hopper. I don't know how anybody could tie a Dave's hopper with just 6 steps. This is a pretty hard fly for me. I know it's probably challenging for a lot of folks out there. And he's got the pretty standard nymphs and bugs. You've got Dave Whitlock's red fox squirrel nymph. You've got a hare's ear nymph, a pheasant tail. You've got to have those flies in pretty much any how-to book. And the wet flies, you've got a black pennel here, a teal blue and silver. That's a pretty good looking fly. Silver butcher, I love this thing. And for the streamers, a lot of your classics. There's a muddler minnow. He had the Mickey fin, I think the black-nosed dace, and then maybe a few patterns you haven't seen before. He's got one here called the Miss Simpson. I've never seen this pattern, certainly never tied it, but looks pretty interesting. And then the last section is the hairwings. This is where he's got some of the salmon flies and then a few saltwater flies like clouser minnows. Here's one called the Monroe Killer, Stoat's Tail. Yeah, a lot of these look like pretty classic salmon and steelhead flies. So that's really how the book is laid out. Now, who all do I think this is for? Maybe not a brand new tyer, but for a tyer who's got any experience at all, it's probably going to be a pretty usable book for you. And is it worth $20 to $25 that you'd pay for it today? Yeah, absolutely. There's 100 patterns in here and some really cool looking bugs. Okay, now y'all know I like to give away books when I do a review, so let's do that today. And how we do that here, just leave a comment. This time we're going to use the hashtag Peter. So # P-E-T-E-R, anywhere in your comment. Today is Sunday, August 15th. Next Sunday, what's that going to be, the 22nd? I will go to the random comment picker and pick a comment where somebody used the hashtag Peter, and I'll get in touch with you and get the book in the mail to you. So that's it, everybody. Just my way to say thanks to the fly tying community and that I appreciate your support. So y'all take care. See you next time.